So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane, it's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. I send the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes. I take shots to the top, I'll get it. I got one life, I'ma do all to win it. I do what was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
All right, guys. Happy Saturday, August 9th. Let me get our other guest of honor in here. Mediocre Trader, how you doing, amigo?
What's up there, buddy boy? How's things going?
Not too bad. Not too bad. How's your weekend so far?
Dude, I just left a party a little bit ago. It was a good time.
All right. Well, now we got party part two.
Party. Yeah.
Nothing too serious tonight, Mediocre. I thought we'd have some fun going through the Reddit Short Squeeze channel and see what everybody's talking about, just for fun, just for something to talk about. There are some other tickers that we normally go through just to kind of check the boxes and give updates on what's happening in the world of retail trading. Maybe we'll talk about some of those. I see Dink in the chat. He said he's over the moon about Ethereum. Have you been checking Ethereum's price, Mediocre? 4301.
No, I haven't. Wow.
After bottoming out in April. Wow, that was just April, huh? 1385. Now it's at 4302.
Richie's been telling me some stuff. How are you, Dink? Yeah, Richie's been telling me stuff about crypto. There's a lot of people big in crypto that are really excited right now.
Let's see what the other cryptos are looking like. Bitcoin this evening at 116.7. Doge at 24 cents. XRP still in the $3 range at 322. Not too bad.
No.
I'm going to...
They're holding up, right?
Yeah. Hey, Mediocre, before we get in, hang on one second. I got wife standing here off camera.
Make sure you tell Scarlett I says hello.
All right. She needs my help for a second, Mediocre.
No problem.
I will be right back.
I'll answer some questions and talk to the chat.
That sounds good. I'm going to put the chat up on the screen. And I will be right back.
Wait, James says way back in the day vibes. You know, I mean, listen, guys, I stopped doing this because it kind of felt like sometimes people didn't like what I had to say, or, you know, it gets a little monotonous, you know, and then that people wouldn't follow the channel, and I kind of gave up, and I'm like, I'm just going to do my own thing. And I mean, I talk to Tony every day. Obviously we still have our group and stuff like that. I kind of stopped posting. I felt underappreciated, to be honest. And I apologize for that. Other than that, how's things going? I hope all your trading is doing well. it's nice to see crypto up. I did some research on a few tickers. I got more research to do tomorrow on SMCI, which I really like. So like it's just research and stuff and things like that. Same old shit, different day. But we're gonna talk about what's going on in the retail market. See what everybody's talking about. Something I rarely ever do. I usually do my own type of stuff, And Rolf, our buddy Rolf, he's been putting himself out there. He likes those I don't even know, ETFs that pay the dividends. I wouldn't even call them a dividend. It's like a disbursement, a fund disbursement. He's been talking a lot about those. I mean, I like them too, but I have better luck doing other things, So those are the types of things I've been doing lately. Just doing due diligence on tickers and stuff like that. James, I appreciate all of you guys, to be honest with you, I mean, it means a lot to help people, and I enjoy helping people do better in the market. That ultimately is my goal. I don't like when people struggle. Let's see. I wonder what the ES is doing. I don't even have a chart up tonight. Let me see. Let's see if no, today's Saturday. Never mind that. That's tomorrow night at 6. Unity Software, Wolf, and TLRY, Tilray. I mean, I'm not sure what's up with Wolf. Like Wolf is, I'm not sure what's going to happen with them. There might be a play there. I'm not sure. I know that they had some bad news a while back. I think it was bankruptcy or something. I'm not certain. I don't remember exactly everything, but it is what it is.
Hello?
Isn't Tilray that weed stock? Oh, hold on. Marijuana stock. Welcome back, Tony.
Sorry. Her dad's over here and they needed help moving something heavy. So
Get it done?
Yeah, it was a couple bodies of our enemies that showed up on the doorstep last night.
You wrapped them in duct tape and plastic bags?
Yes.
Threw them in the trunk of the Cadillac?
Dad's going to take care of it from here.
He's got a pig farm somewhere he's going to go visit.
Oh, man. What's up? Who we got? Dink, James, John Y. Good evening, gentlemen. Mediocre. So we talked about crypto. Did I interrupt any conversation you had going on right now?
No, it was just, we were talking about what James is looking at. He's looking at Unity Software, Wolf, and Tilray.
Yeah, Unity is still getting a lot of attention on social media. It's not one that I've really been following closely on a day-to-day basis. There's a lot that I do, but I see a lot of people talking about it. 1390 was the recent low. Well, not that recent, a year ago, and then around $15 in April, and it's trading around 33 right now. So, I mean, that's a 2Xer. That's not too bad. I haven't looked into it enough to know what to tell you next.
Wasn't Wolf one of the ones that was going to go bankrupt or something?
Wolf is a bankruptcy play. Yeah, it is in a structured Chapter 11.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure if that was the one or not.
Trading just under $1.50, which I think is, I think when I did my Wolf coverage a month or so ago when they filed the bankruptcy, I said I expected the shares trade between like 40 cents and $1, I think is what I said. And it's at $1.48. So in my book, that's hell yeah. If you got in at 38 cents, I'm not a, you know me, mediocre. I don't push bankruptcy plays. But if I was rolling the dice at 38 cents and it ran all the way up to $1.50, I'd consider that a pretty good trade.
Absolutely.
Let's look at a couple of the other meme stocks. Let's start with AMC. They have earnings on Monday, so we're not going to talk about AMC too much tonight because we're going to get the next bit of news on Monday after the market closes. But 293, it did have finally a green candle on Friday. Did you see that, mediocre, after a couple weeks of daily reds?
Yeah. It's because it got that run up from the box office and then just bled right out.
But we did have one good candle on Friday, and I don't know if that was related to options or people positioning ahead of Monday's earnings or what, but there's a chance that there's a surprise on Monday. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any firm predictions for what we're going to find out. I will just find out along with you guys.
Yeah. 293 though. It's under $3. Man, that was a long time ago when we were there, Tony.
I know. I still get tempted, but I haven't.
The temptation. I feel you on a temptation, but you know.
But I need to see what this Q2 earnings looks like. That's a big pivot point. You know, what were they able to pull off any profits at that box office? And the second thing is we have that proxy coming out in October, which I also need to get my eyeballs on that. It's like I tell my audience, mediocre, I'm too damn old to be risking it all when we got something like that hanging out there.
I mean, percentage gain, right? That's what matters to me. And that percentage gain wise, I could make more in a stock like SMCI or something like that. That's an unprofitable company. You know what I mean? So for me,
that's kind of how I look at it. It's like it's measuring risk. Yes, there is a chance of a run up for AMC, but what is the risk you got to weigh against that?
Yeah.
I can't quantify the risk on a proxy I haven't seen yet. So that for me scares me to death.
I like growing my account on a weekly basis. You know what I mean? So you know what I do. I like to grow my account on a weekly basis. If it's not growing or I'm not making money, I'm kind of upset. If my money's just sitting there not making me anything, what's the point?
Dink says, I think Wolf is not zeroing their equity. They're not. If you watch my video a month or so ago, the equity holders should get something out of this structured Chapter 11. And what that something is depends on how they value the company in the Chapter 11 process. So my rough guess was a pretty wide range, 40 cents to $1. But I think considering people, you know, are thinking they're going to come out of this bankruptcy at $5, $10. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I'd ratchet down expectations if I was talking about Wolf on a daily basis, but I'm not. We'll get to BMNR in just a second. Let's get one other meme stock out of the way. GameStop, mediocre, just finished up their quarter 9 days ago. They got their earnings coming up in about a month or so. It's not announced yet, but here's the chart, mediocre. And you and I haven't talked about GameStop in a long time, but you can see they've been trapped in this supply demand zone for a year now.
Yep.
Between 20 and 30 bucks. And we still got GameStop pumpers coming on every day telling them it's about to go to $1,000 any day now. I don't get it. I mean, we got $4 billion in bonds. We got bond arbitrage traders doing their thing with the price. And this stock needs some news to get moving again, I think, or it needs to get really run down. Like, I'm not saying it's going to $9, but remember when it got so damn cheap a year and a half ago that everybody's like, all right, that's it. That's the bottom.
When it got to $10.
$10, yeah. That's what it got to. And everybody's like, all right, that's it. Now,
and then Roaring Kitty came back.
Then he came back. Yeah. So I don't know if that's going to happen. There's a lot of people that have very high expectations for Q2 with the Switch 2. And I guess we'll see.
Keith, where you at?
Where you at, Roy and Kitty? The other good thing is, Ryan has gotten rid of most or all of the money losing locations. So maybe we'll see a little bit of margin improvement. I think it's a good time to roll the dice with GameStop. It's just up to each individual to decide what is the price point you want to go in and roll the dice. And you know me, mediocre, I'm a fucking bottom feeder. I want to get that price as cheaply as possible.
I'll tell you what, that CNBC interview with Ryan Cohen really made me think about. I'm like, this dude, man, he made me think about GameStop. I'm not gonna lie.
I think he's doing a great job, and I'm excited to see what happens when they turn the new Power Packs website on for more than just beta users. The beta users are doing a good job of pumping the thing, but let's get it turned on and get some revenue coming in.
Like, it's better that he talked. Just come out and talk to the people.
Yeah,
like he did.
Yeah,
just that alone puts confidence in his shareholders.
Exactly. It's what many of us have been asking for a long time. Like, tell us something. Speak. Talk to investors. These people wonder, why are no analysts covering GameStop? Because there's no guidance from management, and they're rapidly cutting stores, slashing revenue. How could any analyst make any prediction when the company's in cutting mode and the management is not giving you any guidance? What is the analyst supposed to do? Mediocre?
I don't know.
I think the analysts will come back.
If they don't have the information, what can they?
They will come back when GameStop says we're done cutting, we're going to focus on margin and revenue growth, and here's our guidance. You're going to see analysts come back. But all of these people scratching their head, they think it's some grand conspiracy. No, Wall Street does not like CEOs being silent. They don't like companies being silent. Even failed companies like Mullen communicate more than GameStop. So there's, in my mind, every reason right there to explain why there's no analyst covering this stock, and what I expect is needed for that to change. And I think Ryan's headed that direction, mediocre. But in the meantime, one thing you're not going to hear from me is whining, crying, and belly aching about where's all the analysts. I'll leave that to the pumper channels, mediocre. They'll keep on pretending they don't understand why there's no analysts, because they got to have something to talk about,
Yeah.
Let's move on to another ticker.
I haven't seen any of my friends lately.
What about your friends?
I haven't seen any of my YouTube friends. The ones.
Oh, good. I've been trying to cut back too. It's a hot mess out there. ASPN, Aspen Aerogels, was a company that we were trading for briefly, and then they got spanked after earnings, 2 earnings ago. But that provided a buy-in opportunity. Some of us bought a little bit on that dip. It went down to $4. It's at $9.78 right now. So that was a double your money opportunity. But mediocre, you got some new news. Why don't you share with the folks?
Oh, the chief financial officer is stepping aside.
So the CFO is resigning end of Q3, right?
And that's why see that big red candle from Thursday right there?
Yeah.
That's what happens when your CFO resigns.
Do you think that would happen if a CEO resigns unexpectedly too?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen to AMC when Adam Aron resigns? Some people say it's going to skyrocket up.
That's, you're losing somebody who is making decisions over a long period of time. You're going to lose that to put, you don't know what's coming in.
Yeah, you're losing an industry veteran with a lot of contacts. I think his retirement is coming at some point, but man, I sure am not going to be one of the ones saying expect the stock to skyrocket when he resigns.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't think that would happen.
Here's a CFO resigning at ASPN, and the stock dropped from 978 all the way down to $7. That's a big spanking mediocre.
Yes, it was.
Dink says he's got a comment here. Let me put him up on the screen. I was just going to say that GME's in its best position to start changing the future, managing the decline, and right sizing is almost done. Amen. Something we've been waiting for a long time. You know, the GameStop people say that I have a lot of empathy for the investors. I don't have empathy for the pumper channels that say they've never been wrong. I mean, mediocre. If you go back and look at the trajectory of GameStop for the last 4 years, it's only been down. They've been wrong every single day, especially the ones telling people never to sell. Some of the more adept GameStop, other YouTubers out there have been doing a great job, I think, of talking to people about cycles, talking about selling covered calls, running the wheel, you know, ways to monetize your position, even some swing trading, which is mostly what I talk about. But man,
how else are you going to average down unless you throw money at it, right?
Yes, you can average down by throwing money at it, but there are so many other ways to make that process much easier.
Absolutely. Just got to understand market mechanics and the way the market works, right?
And you get out of this mindset because you're listening to 5-hour pumper videos every day that it's going to $1,000 tomorrow. Once you kind of let that go, and we've all had to do it in a ticker or two over our lifetime. Once you let that go, everything just becomes so much easier. And if you're really, really worried, what if it does go to 1,000? Then go buy the cheapest, farthest out of the money call you can.
Or so what? You don't capitalize on the whole move.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing.
Momentum's in that direction, buy into it.
That's the other thing, mediocre. These people act like we're not sitting here every day with alerts set and watching our screens, and that we couldn't just get in. You know, if it runs from 20 to 1,000, I'm pretty sure if I get in at 30, I'm going to be okay. You know?
Want to put up SMCI next? You don't have to do it right this second.
No, let's go ahead. All I wanted to do for our ASPN people is make sure they knew that the CFO was resigning, and that is why the price tanked on Thursday and Friday. The SMCI Super Micro Computers trading at 44.60. They got spanked. What's going on, mediocre?
I made a lot of money on this, didn't I, Tony?
You have. It's been impressive to watch. So what happened in the past 3 days?
They had an earnings call, but I didn't see the earnings because I exited before. So I knew they had earnings coming. So I don't know what happened yet. I will find out tomorrow. I'm going to go listen to the earnings myself to determine what caused that right there. Because that
must have been bad. That's a pretty severe correction.
Yes, it is. They had an earnings miss. I know that for a fact, but
yeah,
but that's a big miss. I mean, how could it? I don't know. So I want to see this before Monday. I need to know before Monday because is this a play? I don't know yet.
Barclays put out a new price target of $45.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Barclays. Yeah, we can dig into it tomorrow, mediocre.
Yeah, that tomorrow I'm going to dig into it.
Especially, you know, I like stocks like this after they've got spanked. But if the analysts are only putting out $45 price targets and that's what it's trading at, there may be no opportunity. So we need to go see.
Yeah.
If we think something different than them.
But I think Citigroup has a $42 one, I think. I'm not sure, but that was like 2 weeks ago, maybe. I'm not sure. Could even have been longer. I'm not certain either because I don't remember when it was. But regardless, my point I'm trying to make is like they already had price targets in this range. So I think that people that's why I exited because it was overvalued. When I looked at the PE ratio, it was well above 30.
Yep.
And I said, oh, man, this thing is
So you got out before earnings and that crash down.
Yeah, I got out.
I love it.
Got out
I
at
love
like
it.
$54, $55, somewhere around there.
I love it.
Yeah, because I was telling Rolf, I said, listen, man, like this PE ratio is really high. They got earnings coming up, and I felt like there was a rug pull coming. And then they had a miss on earnings.
And
So,
you were right. You were correct, sir.
lucky guess, when you got a price target of, $48, $46, $42, right? In that range, and then the stock goes $10 higher than that, you got to be like, ask yourself, like, why is it up there?
Yep,
You
exactly.
got to start doing your due diligence. Like, is it overbought? It clearly it was. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean it's not worth that. Maybe it gets back there, but they need to have.
This is what we talk about a lot, mediocre. When the PE ratios get too crazy, all it takes is one little miss in our earnings, and these things come crashing back down to earth.
Yeah, because people want to pull their money out to protect it. That's
Right.
what happens.
Yep.
And
So you got to be careful in any ticker where the PE ratio gets a little too big for its britches, and some of them are way too big for their britches. That's all well and good as long as the economy's going on fine, world news is fine, companies doing fine, but one little snafu, and those tend to fall the hardest.
I mean, pull this one up. The other one I dabbled with a little bit. SoFi. This one I did really good.
SoFi's been on fire lately, man.
Yeah, it had earnings, and it ran on earnings. I made great money on that earnings call, and then it just got smashed after that, and then it tried to come back and got knocked back down, right? But people were asking me like, what did I like about it? And I'll tell you what I liked about it, Tony. I like the fact that it's a broker, it's a bank. They make money. They do cryptos, right? Like
Yep.
they do all the same thing Robinhood's doing, okay? And Webull for that matter, okay? So they're in that realm, and you got Robinhood trading over $100, which scares me. You know what I mean? I think Robinhood is people like it. I don't know. That one scares me a little bit, over $100. But if you could get SoFi to 40, $50 or even Webull, right? A lot of people like Webull. We've talked about this. Like people have been asking about Webull, but they have their issues, right? And so that's kind of what I liked about it. Like you got a brokerage that's going to make money, right? They're going to make money off of trades, but how popular is it? I don't think it's super popular yet, but they got a website. You can go to their website.
The crazy thing, mediocre, I had bought what do I have here? I had bought SoFi back at $6 and I sold it 10.25 when it had this little leveling out here.
That was good though.
At the end of last year. Yeah, I mean that was a good trade. I should have rebought on this freaking dip.
I bought at $21 and got captured that whole move up on earnings. That's how much I got. Percentage, I don't know. I could tell you dollar what I made, but that's irrelevant. And the thing is like, I don't like to brag about some of the stuff, and sometimes I want to, like, people piss me off. You know that, Tony.
Yeah.
I want to kind of rub it in their face, but I'm like, it's just not worth it. You know what I mean?
Someone is asking about PTLO. Let's take a look at that one. Portillo's. Are you familiar with this one, mediocre?
No.
Restaurant group.
Ooh, that's tough. But I'll do some due diligence on it.
It owns and operates 94 restaurants across 10 states, including a restaurant owned by C&O Chicago LLC. The company also operates in non-traditional locations. So they got spanked on earnings, dropped from $9.78 to $7. And 239 Beans question is, what is our opinion on it? It's a buy on stock analysis from $9, 13 average, and 17 for a high. So, and he also says, hey, mediocre. The thing is, 239 Beans, when did this earnings come out? On the 5th. So clearly there was some problems with the earnings, right? They must have missed or something. So keep an eye out in the next couple days and see if we get any analyst updates. Let's see how maybe there already have been. Yeah, there have been. So $9-10 is the new updates from Stevens & Co., Morgan Stanley, and UBS. $9 to $10. It's trading at 742. That gives you I'm not going to count what it says up here. Up here it says the average is $13, but these are price targets of $16, $17 given before the most recent earnings.
Here's the problem I have with those, Tony, and they do this a lot on a lot of different stocks. You know, they may not have all the information, right? If you look at what happened with Aspen, Aspen's a profitable company, a good company, decent company, right?
Yeah.
And they got obliterated just kind of the same way as this did. And it was because of poor guidance, right?
Yep.
And then, you know, now they got headwinds ahead of them, which is, you know, part of a problem. But the thing with restaurants, I don't really trade restaurant type stocks because, you know, to be 100% honest, I have family and friends that own restaurants, and I know how it works. Like, stuff always is walking out the back door. So it's hard to make a profit in the restaurant industry, you know, just in general. So I try not to do that because that's a tough business. And
just looking real quick here. I mean, the income statement, you know, just looking at it by itself, not comparing it to anything, it's not horrible. They've had flat revenues for the past 2 years, slightly going up. I guess the one way to fix that is by opening restaurants, but then you add complexity and cost and risk. You guys know all about the chains that expand too quickly. Net income is positive. There has been a little bit of dilution, but not a ton. Earnings per share is positive. They've got positive operating and gross margins, positive free cash flow margin. The balance sheet, I was just looking at it real quick. It's not awful. They're not upside down on the balance sheet, but I do notice that the current liabilities are triple the current assets. So that is a bit of a yellow flag for me. When you've got 50 million in current assets, but you owe 171 million. Not the ideal situation. But that's not materially different from last quarter either. So last quarter, analysts had a $17 price target. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, but that's not to say if there's not a momentum push to the upside that I wouldn't try to capitalize.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't even made any judgment yet about whether it's investable. I'm just trying to let all the information flow through me here real quick. Yeah. Operating cash flow positive, 19 million. I mean, this is not an awful company. I just don't know much about it to say what their growth prospects are. So, sorry, I can't give you a firm opinion. We like solid companies that have pullbacks. You need to do some work, I think, to convince yourself, well, to understand why did they get dropped after earnings, and then is that a fixable scenario over the next 12 months? Is that a fair summary, Mediocre, of how we kind of look at these things?
Absolutely.
This is not a walk away from it, right away type stock. It's kind of like Aspen. It
Yeah.
got beat up. It's not a horrible company, but in order for it to regain that glory, you need to understand and be really crisp on the story and how they're going to fix it.
And they're doing a pretty good job, but even they got some headwinds. The problem is they're going to,
Aspen.
they're going to use less material, so that means less profits, stuff like that, right? Like they got their own headwinds, but will they be profitable? Absolutely. Will they make a comeback? Probably so, but they don't coincide with Trump's kind of agenda, so they're going to stay afloat. It's going to be no problem. They're not going to go bankrupt. I don't see that happening, but
Chris is asking about MSTR. Have you been screwing around with that one at all, Mediocre?
Absolutely. I actually wanted you to put up his comment because I think it's a great question, honestly.
I'm going to say I have not been trading MSTR. People in the Discord have been, so maybe Mediocre has some comments to share. But Mediocre, the only thing I'm going to say before you get started is I've seen some concerning headlines in the last 10 days that I need to go spend a day getting caught up on MSTR. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on MSTR are, do you believe in Michael Saylor or do you not believe in Michael Saylor? What is your opinion on Bitcoin?
Right? That's really the key, right? What do you think about Bitcoin?
If you believe Michael Saylor that Bitcoin is $1 million coin, then I don't think you could go wrong with MSTR, right?
I agree 100%. If you believe Bitcoin is going to even double Mediocre, I don't think you could go wrong with MSTR.
Right. I'm not saying that Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million. I don't know. I'm not a crypto guy myself, but what I will say specifically about Bitcoin is not only do you have MSTR buying it, you have all these other companies and large people buying up Bitcoin. So if they're buying up Bitcoin, what is the reason they're buying up Bitcoin? Right, that's what you need to ask yourself. I would suggest if you're thinking about MSTR to really do some research on Bitcoin and see what you believe. You're going to have to come up with a bullish and a bearish scenario. I personally, I kind of like Bitcoin right now, and I think it has a higher chance of going up than it does going down. But there's also this thing called crypto winter. I don't really know a whole lot about it. That hasn't happened yet. Could it happen? I mean, it could.
I like thinking of Bitcoin in like 10-year time frames, Mediocre. In a 10-year time frame, I'm very bullish on it. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the next 6 months.
I don't know, right? It's gonna keep trading. The thing I like about MSTR though is their options chain is volatile, which gives you a chance to play the game if you are underwater or even if you're making money, right? You can play the game to continue making money. Now, to be clear, I don't buy and hold any stock at all. My goal is not to do that. I try to be in and out within a week or so and get back in or whatever, you know what I mean? And move on. I look for plays that are going to make me certain percentage a week and I try to leave, you know what I mean? So if a stock gets away from me or an equity, gets away from me, I don't really get offended by it. Like people are like, oh, you're going to miss it. I don't care. I have an agenda that you know what I mean?
People think they're hurting our feelings when they say, how dare you not buy and hold? We really don't care about how you trade. We have our way of trading. What I like to buy and hold is companies that have a long history of growing revenue and growing profits. And I like to get them at a fair price and then hold those for a long time. Everything else for me is a trading stock.
Yeah.
And I'm mediocre. You're even worse than me. Like you won't even hold something a week.
Yeah. I mean, like if I am holding something like, and I think the value still has a chance to go up, I'm okay. Like I'll try and sell my calls at a higher price, but if my calls go into money and I lose my shares, I don't get heartbroken over it. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I could have made an extra, $2 a share. That happens sometimes.
Yeah. But we know it's likely to happen or it's possible to happen. And that's just part of the risk of trading. Sometimes
Right.
you don't get the bottom entry. Sometimes you don't exit at the top. You leave a little bit on the table.
Exactly. But you know what though? You're getting price appreciation and premium.
Yeah.
And that's what I care about.
What's up,
But
J Stars? How you doing?
MSTR I think is a decent play though, Tony. I mean, I'd have to look more into it, but I know that he likes to dilute a lot to buy more Bitcoin. And that drives the price down, but it usually recovers. I'm not sure what it's trading at. What's it trading at? 395.
Yep.
I mean, it hasn't gotten back to 360 area in a long time. So
yeah, the derivative tickers that pay dividends are really interesting too. I don't remember now because it's been a month since I've talked to the crypto cowboy, but he was making a ridiculous amount of monthly income off of dividends from one of those MSTW or MSTU. I don't remember which one it was.
MSTU, because that's the one that I've been trading. I'll just
MSTU. I think didn't he tell me mediocre? He was making like 40,000 a month in dividend income.
Yeah, it probably was
something stupid. But I mean,
MSTU doesn't offer a dividend. That MSTU is
then it must have been MSTW.
No. He was what was he in for? Was it a Bitcoin one or was it a Tesla one?
It was one of the MicroStrategy derivative tickers that pays dividends. Chris is saying, look at MSTW. Unlike MSTY, it pays dividends. So it must have been MSTW.
No, yeah, he was either in that or MSTY. MSTY was paying good dividends. That was paying big money.
I can't keep them all straight, so I don't know which ones pay dividends or not. All I know is that's something I should look into because people are getting rich doing that shit.
MSTU is the one that I've been playing, Tony, and it's not a dividend stock. It's a 2 times leveraged ETF that has an options chain, weekly options chain. So I utilize the options chain, and if I end up with the shares, I don't care because it's like it follows directly MSTR, right? So if you're going to pay $3.95 for a share, right? I'm going to pay $7.58 for one share of MSTU, right? So if you bring up MSTU, that's a 2 times leverage ETF based off of MSTR. It's trading around $8 right now. 766 was
yep.
And so I'll sell puts, I'll sell calls on this, and if I get the shares, I just that's it. So no, I don't expect MSTR to continue falling, but it's always going to drop because Michael Saylor is going to sell shares or give up part of it. Well, I forget what he calls them. What are those bonds? He sells bonds.
I think he's selling some preferred shares too.
Preferred, yeah, he does a couple of different things to get capital. He takes that capital and he buys more Bitcoin with it.
Yeah, I need to go and maybe read the headlines that they keep on flashing across, and I'm like, oh, I need to take a break and go read that. I need to go catch up on MSTR and what's going on with Saylor because
the like MSTY stuff though, the part I don't like about like MSTY is those dividend stocks is when they pay you that dividend at disbursement, that money comes directly out of the stock price. So if you get 40 cents is coming off of whatever the stock price is.
That's like any dividend though.
And it's hard to recover that market gain back. So it's like a constant drop down. That's problem I have with those. But over a long period of time, you're going to get your money back, and then you own the shares for nothing, right? Like if you did that for a year, I think Rolf calculated this out. In fact, I know he did. It's in the Discord, but I think if you did it for a year, you end up with all your money back or something like that.
I'm just looking at the last 4 dividend payments: $2.37 plus $1.47 plus $1.23 plus $1.18. I mean, that's at least half your money.
Yeah. I think maybe it takes 2 years. I don't know. He has a whole calculation done. But I trade them. I try to make money on them on the moves, right? But I'm not really holding them. The only one that I am holding though is ULTY. I have a small position in ULTY, which is it's a little bit different. It's not based off of one stock. It's based off of a few stocks that are in the S&P 500.
That one's had a good run up this year, doubling since April.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you were in that one, or I forgot.
I am. I got actually both my boys are in that, and my wife. They're holding that and just collecting dividends.
There you go.
And then every time they get dividend money, they just re-roll it back in.
It's like a damn money printing machine, mediocre.
It is.
James says he holds ULTY also. Congrats, James. Mediocre, have you been keeping up with any of the quantum biopharma stuff going on social media? Or are you like, no to social media?
No, I have not.
This is another darling of the retail stock community, the naked short folks right now. It has run up since like May, $8.45 up to $29, which is a very respectable run up. Tiny float. They did a reverse split about a year ago, and it kind of languished. Then they got some stock promoters on board and started hyping up this tiny float, 1.5 million shares, and they ran this fucker up.
What happens when they do that, Tony?
Well, yeah. I mean, since then, mediocre, the float has pretty much doubled in the past 60 days. In fact, if you see this chart here, see this big red week or two, what happened, we just found out, we just got earnings. A bunch of warrant holders and convertible debt holders were converting warrants and convertible debt for shares. And you know what they do? They sell them for a profit. Who wouldn't after the price 4Xs? And so that tanked the price all the way down to $15 from 38. People were pushing the whole naked short story. Mediocre, you can't even fucking find shares to short it if you wanted to. And if you did, you're paying 200 to 400%. So I don't think this was a naked short story.
Most likely not.
It was a FOMO driven on a very tight float. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you go into it eyes wide open and take profits.
You got to understand what's going to happen when the stock price gets overvalued like that, and the company can take advantage of it, and the CEO can take advantage of it. They're going to do that.
Not just the company, it's the lenders that bought the convertible notes and got the warrants. They're going to take advantage of it.
Whoever has a stake that can benefit, they're going to benefit.
The company benefits by getting that convertible debt and the warrant liabilities off their fucking balance sheet. So everybody benefits except the people that bought
on the
at
run
$38, the suckers. But somehow mediocre, it's rallied back up since the beginning of July all the way from 15 back to 29. So still a relatively tight float. Still a lot of people that think there are naked shorts in this play. The company, of course, hired Wes Christian back in.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, back in October. I've had this note on my chart. I've been following quantum for over a year. I just don't talk about it because there wasn't much going on. I put this note in here on my chart a long time ago because I track all of the Share Intel and West Christian tickers. I've got a list of 2 or 3 dozen, and they filed a lawsuit back in October of 2024. We're not even going to get an update, Wes said, until next year, mediocre. And this company has 0 revenue, and they have bills to pay. So what do you think is going to happen over the next 3 quarters?
I wonder why the short interest is probably super high.
The short interest is 5%, mediocre.
Is it?
Yeah, it's only 5%.
Well, the cost to borrow is super high.
Yeah, because the float is very tightly held. There's just not a lot of people lending it out. But you know what happens, when it runs up, the shorts eventually will come in because they will anticipate a corporate action.
Absolutely.
Or when the corporate action is announced, the shorts will then pounce, and you get these massive red candles. So I don't care if you're investing in quantum. I wish you a bunch of luck, but just understand what is going on here. It's a FOMO play. It's a tight float play. Nothing wrong with that. There's almost no short interest. And there's a lot of social media hype around the naked short lawsuit. That is what it is. Every ticker has their moment in the sun where they get run up because of a lawsuit. And then they all dilute. It's a story as old as time. How many times have we seen that story play out, mediocre?
It happens all the time.
All the damn time. So just be careful. I've heard people say that I'm working for the shorts on quantum, and I also heard a YouTuber on Friday saying that I'm promoting quantum. I'm literally doing neither. I don't care if you trade it. I don't work for the shorts. Trade it if you want to. I'm also not promoting it because I know what's going to happen. When the price runs up, something is going to happen. A corporate action or lenders, someone will do something because this company needs money to operate. And they're not going to let that just go by the wayside. That's my prediction. You can judge me in 9 months and see how accurate it was. Short-term volatility on FOMO plays, very unpredictable. I wouldn't short this thing. I don't short stocks, period, but you don't know how high people could run this thing up. You just don't know. But if it gets too out of whack, someone's going to do something mediocre. Shorts will come in, or the company will say, all right, we need to raise some money. This is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
All right. BMNR. This has been a hot topic of discussion in my Discord and the crypto channel. The guys were asking me about it on a live stream a couple days ago. Tony, didn't you say you bought BMNR? No, I did not. In fact, I barely have been following the comments because I haven't had time in the crypto channel on Discord. I've been working on too many other tickers. But so what do we got going on here? This thing has ran up from $4 to $161, mediocre. Holy fucking hell.
Wow.
Are you kidding me right now? Guess I should have been paying more attention, mediocre.
That's a big move.
Currently trading at $51. Bitcoin mining. So what the fuck happened around this earnings time that made them skyrocket like that? Let's take a look. BMNR.
Good night, James. Have a good night.
Take care, James. Anya, give us your elevator pitch on BMNR while I'm looking through the financial statements, Anya. I see revenues going up dramatically. I like that. Operating income, I'm assuming this is one of those companies that is just stacking Bitcoin. So what do we got? Other income. We got other income. Net income negative. No. Balance sheet. Cash. 1.47. Other assets. What's the Anya? What's the story on this company? They dumped the mining business and went to Ethereum treasury. Ah, snap. Well, that's actually a good decision to dump the mining business, I think, because it looks like they're not making a lot of net income on that. Quite the opposite. And that's rough when you're a Bitcoin or a crypto mining company and Bitcoin's been on fire and you still can't make money. So, all right, Ethereum treasury. Let's add this one to the list to check into tomorrow, mediocre.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know enough about it, but to comment tonight, but I can promise you I will be adding this one to my list to read up on. Bitcoin, Bitmine stock source 25% as Ethereum tops 4,000%, but caution remains. That sounds like my type of article, mediocre. Let's get hyped, but let's keep some caution in mind. Car enthusiast says Tom Lee from Fundstrat is the new chairman of BMNR. That's what happened. And he shifted the company to Ethereum. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Sounds like a great story. I look forward to reading up more on them tomorrow. Mediocre, I know we said we were going to talk about some Reddit short squeeze channel, but we've been going about an hour here, and I am realizing that I'm starving. I think we got to run through a great amount of tickers this evening. Do you have any other ones on your hot list?
Give me
Mediocre.
Hang on. Let me get my mouse here. Not to rub it in, Tony.
What? You got some food there? Oh man, Raising Cane's.
That's why I had to do that. I'm sorry.
Hey, did your dad bring food over here and leave it, or he just brought it in and he brought it for us? It's pasta? Yeah. All right.
Pasta. You gotta love that.
Her dad stopped by and brought food. So, and my stomach can feel it, mediocre.
The only other ticker that we talked about SoFi, SMCI, and Aspen. We talked about MSTU. I mean, the only other one is Robinhood, which I lightly talked about it. I mean, it's kind of expensive. It's very volatile. I don't know.
As much as I wanted to hate that company, their stock has done amazing.
Absolutely. It's retaining its value. So it's like, I don't know.
$8 to 117. It's just sickening.
Isn't it?
Guys, I'm going to repeat, if you're holding one ticker because some goofball on YouTube is telling you don't diversify, look at all the tickers we talked about tonight. Even the worst ones, mediocre, like ASPN, have doubled in the past few months. Like, do not sleep on looking into other tickers. There's nothing wrong with being diversified. But when you diversify, you must still make wise choices and keep up with those companies. So the more companies you're holding, that's more work for you. If you don't like that kind of work, then pick a index matching ETF fund if you don't have time to put in the work.
I'll give you guys a decent one. This is the other ticker I really like, Tony.
What's
For all the people who love the S&P 500, who love ETFs like that, who don't have time to trade, you should look at. Hold on, let me pull up my account. SP. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. It's this one. SPLG.
SPLG, Spider Portfolio ETF.
There you go. It's reasonably priced, and it tracks basically the S&P 500.
All right, yeah, that's a good one.
If you're familiar with VOO, which is Vanguard's fund,
Yep.
it's just similar to that.
All right. There's nothing wrong with owning index ETF funds. I do recommend, if you're buying them, that you have a cost averaging strategy, because but by what I mean by that is, on a weekly or monthly basis, put the same amount in, so that, let's say, we're at the top right now and it tanks. You want to keep buying in, but we can't really predict the volatility. We can't predict these cycles. If you have a dollar cost averaging strategy, and you have a long outlook, 10, 20 years,
Yeah.
that is statistically the best way to make sure you come out ahead, rather than, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to buy at 75 mediocre because I'm expecting it might drop to 50. What if it never does?
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
That happens.
They recover, and I like to say they're kind of in a perpetual uptrend. I mean, there's always pullbacks, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can see a couple of big ones, but they don't last. They haven't lasted long.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. If you're getting, 12% a year, you're not going to get that at a bank for your money.
And it's better than holding a meme stock that's down 50% in the past 4 years, or more.
Those are just things that I think about, right?
It's good to spread out your risk. That's the bottom line. We trade all the risky shit too, just like you guys do. But
absolutely.
But you got to have some. I think you got to have some foundation, some anchor in your portfolio of shit that is fire and forget. You're going to make a return on it, no matter what, and it's relatively safe. So, just my thought. And it's not for everybody, and you don't want to do it. That's cool with me. Mediocre, thanks for your time this evening. I'm going to go eat some pasta.
Thank you.
And let's catch up tomorrow, and you and I go through MSTR and that other Bitcoin miner, BMNR.
Yeah.
And maybe we can do another live stream tomorrow night.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Up and to the right. Up and to the right. Up and to the right.
Hello, millionaires. Short screenplays where fortunes flip. GameStop's journey, an epic trip. From humble roots to the moon we fly. A company's dream will amplify. Reddit warriors, keyboards in hand. With their eyes on the prize, they took a stand. No one's selling, we're here to fight. How does it go? Up and to the right. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. It's us on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, molasses in sight. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. GameStop's on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, molasses in sight. Hedge funds trembling, Kenny's in shock. GameStop stock, you'll never stop. From diamond hands to rocket ships, we're not selling, retail army, we've already won. With every share, we'll never stop. Investors say, we love the stock. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. It stops on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right. Up and to the right. We're in for the ride. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right.
Surprise!
We're gonna win.